This is a 1967 Valiant Regal Safari wagon. They were built by Chrysler Australia between 1966 and 1967. The Regal Safari was the upper spec model offered by Chrysler, who built 2,500 of these wagons.
On the outside of the car, it still has the original Spanish red paint, which was the only in the VC range to come with the metallic through it. There was a couple of bits of rust in the car. The rear left-hand door was the worst, which I've had to replace for roadworthy. But other areas, which were always been a problem in the earlier Valiant, such as the plenum and the chassis rail beside the steering box, had no rust in it whatsoever. Well, it's taken me a bit of time to get on the road, but now I have. I'm pretty excited. I'm like a 3-year-old. I've got my first V8, and I'm about to take on its maiden voyage.
Let's go surfing now, everybody sing now, come on a safari with me. Starting out, some honeys will be coming along. We're loading up our woody with our boards inside and heading out singing our song. Come on baby, wait and see, yes, I'm gonna take you surfing with me. Come along, surf baby, wait and see, yeah, I'm gonna take you surfing with me. Let's go surfing now, everybody's learning how, come on a safari with me.
In the late 60s and early 70s, it was all about grabbing your mates, some boards and your beers and heading to the beach. Back in those days, car parks were filled with panel vans and old wagons just like this one.
40 years on, the same people that used to drive these old cars have traded them in for sensible, family-smart, sports utility vehicles. And nowadays, it's rare to see such classics in beach car parks.
Well, whilst the Val was clearly the coolest car in the car park, can you honestly live with one? Because of the V8 transplant into the original 6-cylinder body, I assumed to save a bit of money, the original owner decided to keep the 6-cylinder radiator. Of course, that's made the engine quite hot. To try and cool it down as well, with a bit of extra cooling capacity, I've had to turn the heater on, and to be honest, it's getting pretty warm in here just now. On the interior, there's not a lot of luxuries either. We don't have any aircon, we don't have headrests, we don't have nice comfy big seats. The vinyl's quite hot on my back right now because it's been sitting in the sun for the last couple of hours. And because it's such an old car with very little insulation, as you can tell, it's also very loud in here. Especially when you get up to 100 kilometers an hour.
On the safety side, it has little to offer compared to brand new cars either.
It doesn't have ABS, it doesn't have inertia rear seat belts, it doesn't have EBD, it doesn't have ESC. It doesn't even have hazard lights. So now I've talked you out of buying a car like this, why on earth would you want one?
Okay, this car may not have any of the mod cons you see in cars of today. And yes, maybe you do have to suffer the heat on the Sunday drive. However, you form a special bond with old cars that you won't find with cars from the showroom. With my Val, I know that I have to pump the brakes a couple of times first to make them grip, and that I have to ride the accelerator through an intersection to prevent it from stalling. I know that the sound coming from the engine bay is telling you that the transmission has little left in it. Yes, it's shabby, but that's what gives it its individuality. That's what gives it its character.
So a cool old car like this is great for cruising the coastal road. And you can pull off the surfy look really easily. Even if you can't surf.
Wipe out.
the humble workplace where you'll see big earth movers, men that can steal less crack than Ozzy Osbourne and... yes.
From now, an avoidable tragedy will unfold. A tragic scenario which rocks many workplaces every day. In just a few moments, the boys will knock off the smoko, and Don Atkins will realise that his honey sandwiches, packets of chips, and thermos will be left home on the bench. So we have 10 minutes and a 1-ton Rodeo to try and save the day. The whole Rodeo's nearest competitors are the Ford Ranger and the Mazda BC50. All three utes run a 3-litre turbo diesel engine. They all have roughly the same power, although Rodeo does have a little bit more peak power and a little less peak torque than the other two. Payloads are roughly the same and they can all tow a 3-tonne capacity. However, the price of the Rodeo does exceed the other two. By buying the Ford Ranger you'll save around about $1,000 and by buying the BC50 about $600. The big draw card of the whole Rodeo though is the Isuzu diesel engine, which you know is very strong and extremely reliable.
The engine's reliability though means nothing if you're in a hurry and lost. Well, my little episode of getting lost ended up costing me quite a bit of time. I was yet to complete half the journey, but 5 minutes had already passed.
The four-wheel drive system on the all-new Rodeo was much easier as well. In the old Rodeo you had to jump out, lock the hubs in and then shift it into four-wheel drive. Now it's simply push the button on the fly, you can stick it in four-wheel drive. Simple as that.
Another creature comfort of the Rodeo is the stereo.
It picks up 3AW for your footy, Gold FM, ABC for the cricket, and it's got a CD player, so you can listen to all your classics, such as a bit of Daddy Cool. That'll keep the tradies happy.
Well, with a bit of spirited driving I'd managed to make up the lost time, and it looked like the boss might be able to enjoy his smoko.
Now listen!
No worries. Anytime, man. Please do it.
I'm gonna turn around. Gonna turn around once.
All worth it.
Go right.